monthly matchup for June. Of course, presented again by eLympic. Definitely send them a follow. I mean, they have been fantastic throughout the day. We've had great admins. We've had, great stuff. Definitely want to give a shout out over to JSR and T-Bubbles especially. They've been doing great stuff, helping us out a lot throughout the day and throughout the week as well, setting up for this awesome tournament. So shout out to those guys. I am Hurix, joined by TBM, and again we are in the finals here. Pengu Skuad up against Ascendancy, and this is going to be a really, really insane matchup. I mean, I'm gonna go out on the limb. I'm gonna say Pengu Skuad just 3-0s this. I think it's possible that we could see a 1-3 if Ascendancy takes this first map here on King's Row, but the fact that Ascendancy is stuck, or not really stuck, but is their strongest when Reyes can play Reaper, it should be easy actually for Pengu Skuad to try to counter that out if they can see it coming. Jumping into the game though, TBM, give me your thoughts. What do you think?
I think rather than running Reaper, he's pretty good on his Tracer though. Like I feel he's a good contestant for Bubble Kitty, but it seems like he's gonna be picking the Reaper again. Again, these guys are very unpredictable, and they're gonna be taking this particular match very seriously. I mean, given the lineup they're up against, I mean, Pengu Skuad completely dominant throughout this entire tournament. I'm pretty sure they know what's coming their way, and they're gonna want to be prepared for that. No mistakes at all. So it really comes down to how they communicate as a team that's gonna help them win. Nothing more, in my opinion. But I agree with you right now. If Team Ascendancy goes into the match as they are now, then yeah, it's a definite trio from Pengu Skuad.
Should be, I mean, really kind of the closest match that we'll be able to see today. I mean, these teams have dominated their competitors so far throughout this tournament. We've been able to see Ascendancy once, and we've been able to see Pengu Skuad twice as they've just ripped their way through the bottom side of the bracket. So now moving on and playing each other in the finals, obviously these guys are the best of the best. That cannot be understated at this point. But Pengu Skuad has just really kind of stepped their game up, and a team from Sri Lanka, as I'm told, is, I mean, they've been outstanding, man. They have actually been just straight up outstanding. 15 seconds to go though before we see these teams battle it out and determine who's going to be the victor for this month's tournament. And I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Pengu Skuad's going to be able to do. I mean, Bubble Kitty right now going to be on the Tracer at the moment, and look at their positioning. They've got everybody.
It's very interesting. I was just about to say that, but it seems they're gonna be defending on the point, but probably gonna have someone jump on a point and the Winston go in as he's defending this backline over here. Diva and Winston, all of them pretty critical over here. Ana trying her best to keep them alive, but we will see the Winston fall, and a beautiful sleep by Zul. Wow.
Oh, Reyes, again, kind of uncontested. Finally, they find that pick, and now we will see Bubble Kitty, really kind of empowered to just come alive right now. But they're going to be able to reduce him down pretty low. They do actually demech. A nice pulse bomb going out. Not going to be able to find anything, though. They have them very low, and a lot of squishy targets on the point right now. That's going to give Duel an opportunity to really try to...
Notice that the Ana had been uncontested the entire time, but was still trying her best to keep her team alive.
Well, Duel...
I wouldn't say it was really advisable keeping Zul for the last, because I mean, Ana's very, she can be utilized very well, but again, they didn't have a second hero that could have kept all of them up. But still a very risky choice not going for the Ana first before anyone else.
And again, the map that really they have the best chance on here is King's Row. Obviously the Reaper is historically probably the strongest on this map. Just given the fact that there's a lot of tight corners. Once you get onto the point, they have to press you, so it really kind of gives them a little bit of an advantage. But outside of this map, things open up a little bit more. The Reaper may not be as strong of a pick, and certainly there's a lot of time left in this match, or in this map here, for them to try to counter out Reyes. But Reyes has definitely been a little bit of a struggle to deal with so far for every team that Ascendancy has gone up against.
Well, as soon as Nabu pulls out the Dragon Blade, he gets eliminated. Bubble Kitty really doing a lot of work here on this follow. Going uncontested at the moment since the enemy team doesn't have a hit scan to deal with her. Although Pierce is trying to do as much work as he can to prevent that damage from coming in, but unfortunately that doesn't help.
He needs some
healing. What a beautiful swipe by Nabu onto Gordon.
Yeah, Bubble Kitty actually going to take advantage of the fact that Piercer went way out of position to try to deal with him. But he's going to be able to get back into his mech with that self-destruct, allowing him to just re-mech up very easily. Again, that barrage being held at the moment. They need to wait out this sound barrier that just came out from Ryder, but once that's down, definitely look for him to try to find an opening away from Piercer, if at all possible, to try to find these kills. And it will be right now as he unloads. Gordon already with the blade, though. He's going to kill himself, and Rhea's going to follow in to find that elimination. And Ziyu way off. Duel not on the point either. They should be able to walk this one in.
Wow, really solid push over there by Ascendancy. Really working with that Winston over there. Just very well coordinated, as you can see. The Winston goes in, followed in by the D.Va. And Lucio comes in for any, you know, sudden healing or speed to help them get out of there. But so far looking very strong on this point.
Now Death Blossom at the ready. Nothing to support it with, so you don't have, you know, the Zarya bubble. You don't have any ults that you could throw on top of it either. So if he does do it, it is going to be Bear. But Archangel already finding a kill on the
really taking that Mercy out of the fight. That's a very viable pick, because she almost just had a res. But she has it up now, and if they're gonna... If Pengu Skuad lose a lot of people, they're probably going to come into the res, and seems like they will, because she's just getting ready to come out from the right side, and the res comes in, resing 4 of them. Hopefully they should be able to make a difference over here. Transcendence coming out though from Archangel.
Piercer.
But still able to take the point. Piercer doing...
I think he knocked Ziyu off.
Yeah.
So now we will see the attack visor coming out from Gordon as they're looking to try to, you know, come back in this one. Self-destruct. I'm not sure why he used that, because, you know, it really isn't.
I think he's going to probably be switching off to the Zarya from the D.Va. Seems like he's going to be doing that. And Reyes switches over to McCree.
So we will see Reyes making his first swap of the tournament so far. Finally over to the McCree. And now, you know, it's not even a deal with Bubble Kitty. Oh, no, swapping back over. He's going right back over to the Reaper, because, I mean, Bubble Kitty was on Tracer. It's not even on the
you're not switching. Yeah. Good choice by switching over to the Tracer. On half on his Pulse Bomb over there, 50%. Pretty much a shield battle right now, and a beautiful Shadow coming in, and a sleep that completely takes Duel out of the fight over there. Piercer super high on charge, going completely uncontested, really smart with his barriers over there. Gon gets taken down over there.
Well, Piercer's definitely getting pressed here by Bubble Kitty, but, you know, with the shields and the healing that he's getting, nobody's able to deal with him, and Bubble Kitty trying to take him down is actually kind of playing it counterintuitively, where, you know, with the healing coming out, he's pressing those bubbles and actually giving Piercer a lot more charge in the long run. So now he's sitting at 82 charge, now at 98. I mean, basically sub 100 energy throughout most of these fights.
And he's already 71% on his Graviton Surge, having barely made that switch about a minute and a half ago. It's a really impressive play, and it seems to be working quite well for him. And if you didn't notice, this is the first switch from Nightmare as well. He's been playing Winston the entire time, and this is the first time we have seen him playing Reinhardt. And mind you, this guy is an excellent Reinhardt main. He reached top 500 playing this hero, so he definitely is a really scary Reinhardt to play with and against.
Well, I mean, with nobody contesting Piercer, without the ability to contest Piercer, I mean, nobody can take him close range 1v1.
Really cool. That's awesome over there, as he's able to take it on the Tracer. Reinhardt back on the objective and a beautiful sleep on him. And it seems like they will take the point with about 2 minutes exactly to spare. 2 minutes and 1 second. Wow, what do you think of that play, Urix?
Well, again, King's Row is the map that they could possibly take, so it's definitely looking like they have a shot here to take this one and maybe set themselves out ahead of the pack a little bit. But again, I still think that Pengu Skuad should be able to take all the other maps that we have in the list. I mean, Lijiang Tower being one of them. I think the next one actually is going to be Lijiang Tower, and then we move on to Watchpoint Gibraltar. And, you know, those two maps I feel like give a little bit of an advantage actually over to Pengu Skuad. I mean, we have yet to see Nabu really kind of taking out the Pharah, which would really be able to contest with Bubble Kitty and stuff like that as well, and force Gordon to maybe swap off of that Genji for the first time in, I mean, probably since the Vietnam War or something, you know? I mean, he's just been on this, like, all the time. But, you know, those are the main things I'm looking for. Ascendancy definitely still in this tournament, especially with such a great attack there. But I think King's Row definitely plays into, you know, their composition a little bit better. And I think it's a big reason why it made it to the first pick of the map set, because I think, I mean, obviously Pengu feels strong on it, but it's just a better map, I think, for Ascendancy with the comp that they like to run, with these tight corners, with the ability for Reyes to play that hero that he loves to play, that main of his really kind of right now.
Yeah, because this map is more close quarters based. It's really efficient for a hero like Reaper, and especially someone who's mechanically good at him. I don't see why this comp should fail at all.
Things get a little bit dicey, though, when you go over to Lijiang Tower. Obviously, there are some maps that work quite well, and Reyes should be able to still, compete at a very high caliber. But some maps don't, talking about some stuff like Night Market, unless he's using those doorways on the side, they could definitely be shut down by a D.Va. And going over to Gibraltar, that's another map that we're going to see for sure, regardless of whatever happens, because it's our third map in a best of 5. That's a map that I can't see the Reaper being as effective there. I just can't see it.
Yeah, because given how much of an open space and basically the map is an entirely open ground, so Reaper isn't so viable over there unless they have a Lucio pocketing him all the time with that speed boost.
Really strong attack.
Kitty really doing work on that far over there. Being damage boosted by the Mercy, takes out 3 of them. Looks like it's gonna be 4 as he gets the kill on Nabu, which he does flawlessly.
Bubble Kitty's looking insane right now on the fair, and this is why I was so surprised that they didn't bring it out as often as I would have probably made them if I was coaching them. I would have been like, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, especially because it's just so strong in this meta. But they're going to go forward. They're going to leave Ziggy to cap behind with Bubble Kitty, and he's actually just trying to get his ult back up as he actually lost his mech. But he's going to be swapping back over to, what do you think, probably the Zarya here. Oh, actually going over to Widow? What's this about? Is he just swapping back over to the D.Va? Yep, that's the case.
Yeah, he's
trying to get his mech back.
Pretty smart choice over there.
I was expecting that if he was actually swapping back over to D.Va, I thought he was going to do that a little bit quicker. But a nice rocket, 2 rockets in a row coming out, boosted both.
Barrage coming in, wow, super quick there with the barrage. Takes on 3 of them all together, 4 with the kill on the Raze, and now 5 on to Piercer. All completely holding them off over here.
So now Pengu Skuad
probably going to use that. Yeah.
I mean, they've definitely set themselves up. They're having just as good of a performance on the attacking side as what we saw from Ascendancy. And that was a big reason why we thought Ascendancy was going to be able to take this map potentially, is because they just did so well on attack. And, of course, their composition, caters to this map a little bit as well. But now what you see on attack is a very different story, is that Pengu Skuad doing much the same thing here, and both teams kind of struggling on defense. Now, maybe do you think that it could go back to that potential 3-0 setting, or do you think that Ascendancy will be able to hold out?
Now that the Dragon Blade is being used, is very unpredictable because they have 2 defensive ults coming out, but on the side of Ascendancy, you have the Nano Boost as well as the D.Va ult, so they could really make that work, but they don't. Too late. Genji is doing most of the work over here, takes down the D.Va now, and looks to be a pretty solid push with 5 minutes and 31 seconds. This is just mind-blowing to see as compared to the previous push by Ascendancy.
And they still have the Resurrect. They had the Barrage coming up soon. I mean, the problem here is that Reyes is forced to swap off of his, his favorite hero, his main hero that he's been just so strong with throughout this tournament. And now going over to the McCree, I mean, he could very well prove himself to be a strong McCree, but he's not playing the character that Ascendancy has proven himself to be very strong.
What? Wait, what? Looks like a misclick there by the far. That ultimate is going to set them back a few minutes.
Oh, man. I mean, they had all the momentum in the world to actually just jump in there and actually end it with like 5 minutes. But he just accidentally hit Q on the barrier there and killed himself. And we had that POV on stream, so everybody got to see that. I don't know if you got to see it, but that I mean,
did. My view was on the far at the time. That is really unfortunate misplay.
Yeah, definitely don't want to see that at all. But definitely recoverable as well. They have both support ults. They have Ziggy, who has proven to be a lifesaver with those self-destructs.
I have 5 ultimates on the side of Team Ascendancy, guys. You got 3 and the upcoming Dragon Blade. Gordon has just been so flawless with the amount of Dragon Blades he's been getting. I've honestly lost count in each single game, rather.
Well, Nightmare going with a nice Earth Shatter there, allowing them to take out ZU, and that's a great pickup for them, especially, and forcing now Nabu to take his ult out. They're going to be unleashing all the ultimates that they have, looking for those supports, trying to take out the Lucio here. He's very low. Gordon down to about 20 HP, and that's going to be the self-destruct coming out from Piercer, I believe. They're going to walk it through.
That doesn't do anything, and seems like they're going to be taking the point at about 3.5 minutes over here, but still coming in contested the Deadeye from Raze. Will he pick anyone off?
Gordon needs some healing here. Oh, he's at 5 HP. They're trying to find the kill. He's still trying to get healing. It's just a Lucio giving him heals. Finally finds a health pack, but they're still finding kills on the point. Bubble Kitty now at 90%. They're pressing that Ana together. They find the kill. Piercer going to get demeched. Going to be killed off pretty soon here as well. They're going to be able to walk this one in. Not contested. 3:17 is their time. Overall, a better performance than what we saw from Ascendancy, despite the fact that we were both really commending them for their initial push. Now going into overtime with Pengu Skuad a little bit ahead with minute 17 extra in their time bank.
I mean, yeah, time definitely factors into this because they had such a solid push, Pengu Skuad. Like, Team Ascendancy shut them down a number of times, okay, with 2 minutes to spare, but no, Pengu Skuad is like, screw this, we're gonna bring it back, we're gonna bring double the pain, and they really did. With almost double the time to spare, we're sitting on 3 minutes and 17 seconds, which could really be a game changer given the momentum that Ascendancy initially had.
All right, so on the attacking side here, Rhea is actually swapping out again. We're seeing a little bit of depth in terms of his hero pool here. Rhea is going over to the Soldier now. We've already seen him on the McCree, of course, as well as the Reaper, but swapping over to the McCree, or the Soldier here. Try to contest Bubble Kitty in the skies, who's been a real threat for them. I mean, he's already typically a threat, but going against Ascendancy, where, you know, they like to play that ground game, they like to play with the Diva, you know, Nabu on the Genji, they like to play Reyes with the Reaper, and just kind of be a front-loaded threat, try to take down tanks and stuff like that. It's been a huge struggle for them because Duel plays very defensively, plays very reactively, tries to support his teammates, and Bubble Kitty just does a lot of the work with Gordon just diving through and creating a lot of hysteria for the opposition. So this has been
Reyes switching over to the Trace over there and a Fara Mercy pick coming on from the side of Team Ascendancy.
This is what you were looking for.
Yep. Well, very quick pick onto the Mercy over there. Gordon trying to do as much work as he can. Unfortunately, he gets taken down by Nabu over there. Now it's just a battle of Faras in the sky, along with 2 Divas and 2 Winstons. It seems like the point is going to be taken over by Team Ascendancy, establishing a very strong push over here.
Well,
wow, beautiful meta shot by Nabu on a Kitty.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, it was definitely up for grabs for sure at that point. But the fact that we didn't see the Mercy come out is a big thing. But, oh, just as Pengu actually coming back into that point from respawn, they got a couple of kills there. Weren't able to get that full reset to be able to get onto the point and contest it in time. Now they're going to have to hold out on arches. Certainly a good spot to defend on, especially for this dive-style defense, where they're going to be able to, you know, put a lot of their pressure in a localized area. It's not going to be so hard for them to find these targets, which is certainly defensively a big issue for them. But 45 seconds. They want to win 2 fights here to hold it in this archway and take it into their overtime attacking phase, where they have 3:17 to work with.
Winston heavily jumping their backlines over there. Looks like he's going to take the fall as he's being focused entirely, but somehow makes it back to the point over here.
Oh man, Bubble Kitty right now.
Beautiful rest coming in. And the return rocket barrage, but unfortunately Gordon takes on the Tracer and the Lucio.
Another res coming out. That's from Sogeking, and he's going to get 2. That's Ziyu and Duel back up. Oh, man, here comes the self-destruct. Doesn't find anything. Ziggy finding Piercer on the side, though, in isolation, as he's just a pilot. And they actually do find those kills. And because the fight lasted so long here, TBM, we're seeing the overtime go through. They're going to just try to hold this archway, try to make sure that they can't get over to the point, and that is going to be the case. They hold it. With 3:17 now available for them in their time bank to go ahead and try to secure this map. And if they do that, I think they'll be they'll be well on their way to secure the rest of the finals maps, my opinion, because really this is the map that Ascendancy has to win.
Yeah, now Ascendancy over here with absolutely no time left. You have Pengu Skuad with just a point and a little bit more than that to push. So looks like they will be taking this point, but if Ascendancy plays their cards right, and if they actually pick a really stellar comp to defend with, rather than just a dive, I would really like to see a triple tank come out, because they really need the durability and they don't have it. The heroes they've been picking on defense have been really squishy, and the Pharah and the enemy team has just been able to deal with that extremely well. So they need to kind of counter that in some way if double hit scan's not going to work. I would really like to see a Reinhardt pick, to be honest, but I don't think that's going to be happening over here. They're just going to go with, you know, say like a bit of passive DPS and a dive setup sort of defense over here on the side of Team Ascendancy.
All right, so now with 3 minutes, I mean, if we go over here and we take a look at where the payload stopped, it's right on the corner, right outside the bookstore, right in front of that bar area. So not a lot of distance that they have to cover if they can manage to get this first point very quickly. We're seeing a really defensive setup actually coming from Ascendancy, and again with Nabu there in the skies, certainly played well last time up against Bubble Kitty. So they're going to be back and forth a little bit. Reyes on that soldier worked well for their attacking side, but again, if this point goes quick, expect Pengu Skuad to take that momentum and push it forward and be able to close this one out pretty quickly here. Very reactive start, actually, from the defensive side. I mean, honestly, this is really, really smart from them.
They really need to be focusing on Mercy. That's something they aren't doing. She's just being able to damage boost the Winston, not even heal and damage boost the Winston throughout this entire phase, and she still goes uncontested.
Well, we do see finally the Pharah taking it to that Mercy, and Sogi King actually going to be dropped there. Bubble Kitty coming back in, so not going to be able to support them. They are finding a couple of kills. They did DMAC Piercer. If they can take Nabu out of the skies somehow, then they will be able to push back into this and actually make a really solid effort into kind of taking this one back. Archangel now taken down pretty low with Ziggy once again. What is this man with the self-destruct?
Insane plays, and looks like they will most likely take the point here as they're playing very aggressive, shutting that soldier down over there and possibly delaying his spawn. So this is going to be a really tight push for the side of Pengu Skuad. Looks like they're going to be able to do it, but Ascendancy is going to have an even harder time defending this.
There will be like 2 or 3 opportunities, honestly, that Pengu will have to be able to get it to this stage. I mean, really, you want to see Ascendancy trying to press this into the archway if they possibly can. They just need the, they need the rest of the team to be able to actually press that. But once they get themselves in that position, they might be able to, again, localize that pressure, much like you saw Pengu doing. But Nabu already taken down pretty low there by Bubble Kitty, who landed that mid-air rocket. And that's going to be Reyes actually trying to go find some kills with that tac visor, not finding anything initially, getting some heals saved as Bubble Kitty does get ripped down. And man, headshot after the health reset comes out from Duel as he's just, again, creating space here. Really good stuff from Pengu.
Gordon coming there with the Dragon Blade will take down 2 of them and the Diva. Looks like they will be pushing this point as Archangel was unfortunately taken down in the fight at the back over there, so unable to use his res over here. And looks like Pengu Skuad will be winning this first game on King's Row.
That's a huge play, actually, from Gordon. Taking out that Mercy, who had the res. That was basically what they were relying on to be able to get themselves back up into that fight and then hopefully have the ults for the next one. But, Gordon finding 2 kills and then finding the Mercy inside of that as well. That solidified it for them. 5-4 for King's Row. Moving on now to Lijiang Tower, which really is, I mean, a great map for both teams, but I think especially for Pengu Skuad, and that's going to be rough for Ascendancy, who are already down that map now.
Yeah, I mean, Ascendancy have a lot to live up to now since they don't have the upper hand. And Pengu Skuad really show them that if you guys can do this to us, we will make it even worse for you guys, and they definitely did this entire game.
Standing. Now, again, moving over to Lijiang Tower. Reyes has a couple of opportunities, maps like Command Center and stuff like that. There are opportunities for him to bring out the Reaper. That's obviously where they're strongest. I mean, we've already seen Reyes and Nabu switching things up. The Pharah Mercy works well with their soldier. I mean, they definitely have depth. They're not stuck on that. So we know that now. We definitely have seen that they do have some depth. They do have some versatility as a roster. They definitely have that as a team. But, you certainly want to see the Reaper come out. That you definitely want to see Nabu on the Genji if at all possible. But contending with Pengu Skuad, where you have Gordon and you have Bubble Kitty to contest with, it's definitely proven to be a big struggle for them. And moving on to Lijiang Tower, what kind of things can we expect from Ascendancy from their composition? Do you think that we're going to be seeing the Reaper style composition with the Genji, or playing the ground game? Piercer probably on the Diva or Zarya, or do you think that we're going to be seeing instead them try to take it to the air, try to take Reyes over to the Soldier, and do what they were trying to do at the end of King's Row?
I have a feeling it's going to be a battle of Pharaoh Mercy. It looks to be that way because both teams have proved to be really strong in that side of the composition. When it comes to the Genji, Gordon wins, absolutely. He has been carrying the hell out of his team for the entire game that we just saw, especially with that kill onto the Mercy. Like, he doesn't just go into this Dragon Raid looking for the first target he sees. He chooses his targets. And he times his Dragon Raid really well, and that really won them the game over there. Assuming that had not happened, and a beautiful dress would have come out of the side of Ascendancy, they might have just been able to hold that point. But this game, I guess, is going to be very unpredictable. I mean, King of the Hill, any kind of comp would usually work. It just comes down to how the players are and, you know, how they choose their targets and go forth with the game as it is.
And you certainly want to see, you know, characters or heroes or whatever that typically generate ults quickly, because if you win that first fight, you want to be able to get those ults up fast so you can generate momentum and create a snowball effect for your team. So that's why you see characters like, you know, Tracer, Genji, those kind of things really working out quite well, because they generate that ult very quickly. They're very good at first fight because they don't require the ult to have, you know, a lot of kill potential. They have that dive threat. They're very elusive. They have defensive capabilities. I mean, they're very strong heroes, and we do see the Tracer Genji coming out here from Pengu Skuad. Now, on the other side of things, Reyes, again, showing a little bit of versatility, going over to the Genji, and Nabu actually bringing out the Pharah Mercy. So they don't... Oh, actually, Bubble Kitty bringing out the Pharah Mercy as well. So both of them going with what looks to be almost mirror comps, but we will see a Soldier on the side of Pengu Skuad, and it will be Piercer bringing out the Diva. So we'll have to see how that kind of plays into things with that little bit of a swap up. Otherwise, a mirror, though.
Bubble Kitty with the super fast pick on a ride over there, gonna bring them out of the fight. Reyes also pretty low, will be taken down by Duel on the Winston, and just three of them go down so fast over here. And this looks like Archangel will be the next to fall, but somehow he makes it out of that fight. Piercer dropping
not for
really
long.
Low, but
maybe not.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Oh,
pushing
Gordon
them all the way back to the spawn. Really nutty play by Gordon over there, but should still have enough time to get back to the point, since Pengu should be able to contest that for a long time.
I don't like that at all from Gordon. I mean, yeah, he should be able to make it back, but they really want him in this fight. Definitely way overextended there. Bubble Kitty, luckily for his team, still coming through with Ziggy, and they are saving Gordon from, I mean, pretty much embarrassment at this stage, because that was not a good play from him at all. But still holding on, Gordon and Bubble Kitty now, as Gordon comes back from that respawn, reclaiming some of that glory that he lost a little bit there for a second. And they will be able to take that late kill onto Piercer, as he's just going to jump off here more than likely, but Bubble Kitty finds that kill and a little bit of ult charge along with it.
We raised with a switch on a Tracer there, the Genji doesn't seem to be working out. So it'll be really interesting to see how this works and how they choose their targets. Wow, Bubble Kitty with the kill on the Archangel, setting them back another few seconds, which is what they're gonna do, is gonna hand back and wait for not just them Zenyatta but the Genji as well. Pengu really making a statement over here, just completely decimating them on their side of the map.
And again, that triple threat now. I mean, we already saw that they had a double threat, Gordon and Bubble Kitty. We saw that Ziggy was insane. I mean, this guy has been absolutely insane with the Diva, but a couple of moments where we've been able to see Ziggy on the Soldier, and another one right here where he's just come alive. Really, really good performances throughout on every character that we've seen him playing on. And that's going to be the Genji play coming out from Gordon, as he's just slicing through, finds Nightmare and Archangel. Piercer demeched as well. He should be able to find that kill. That will be both the tanks, and that will be that fight along with it. At 87%, it's not a good time for them to be dying off, as they, I mean, Pengu Skuad really should be taking this map easily here with that fight won in their hands.
Wow, really dominating plays coming out from Pengu Skuad. Honestly, don't know what happened to Team Ascendancy over here. I mean, they should have switched their comp, but I don't think the Genji was advisable to go as well with the Tracer. Because, I mean, they literally have nothing to contest so far except for Diva to block out that damage. But other than that, there's nothing that she can do. I honestly feel they should have, they could have pulled out a McCree, but for some reason they didn't. So I don't know what's going on their side when it comes to communication. Because they're really struggling at this point right now, and Pengu Skuad is just going forth with ease on this map.
Well, now they're swapping things up a little bit, going over to a more standard composition. Nabu and Reyes both going over to Genji and Tracer respectively. Piercer right now on a Soldier. So they're going over to that triple DPS dive instead of having Piercer stay on that D.Va to deal with, you know, Bubble Kitty and Ziggy, which I probably would have recommended myself personally. I think that's just a little bit stronger of an approach, have that D.Va ready to go. But maybe the Soldier will be able to knock him out of the sky. Ziggy already with the kill onto Piercer though, so they won't have that threat to deal with. Bubble Kitty should have a lot of room to work with here.
Wow, really? This is very much one-sided as we can all see over here. Pengu Squad really making the biggest statement over here in this tournament, completely shutting down Team Ascendancy.
It's insane to see, I mean, how Ascendancy can look so strong in all their matches, and obviously Pengu Squad as well, but Pengu Squad is making them look like Ascendancy made other teams look. I mean, they are just stomping all over them. King's Row obviously a lot closer, and we explained the reasons as to why that might be. And now Widow, almost a desperation pick just to try to get picks, as Nabu does find the kill onto Sogeking, but Gordon takes him out, and now coming back over, they should be able to find these kills as Bubble Kitty is still really low.
Oh, Dangerous Hero finally gets taken on by Archangel over there. Wow. But still, unfortunately, they're not able to take the point as Ziggy is really doing work on that Soldier over there, completely shutting down Piercer every single time he tries to make it to the point. What do you feel they could honestly switch up if they were to push this? Because that Pharah and Mercy keeps... See, always is uncontested, so what do you think they could actually do with regard to that?
Well, again, I think they really need a D.Va. I think that's a big thing that they need to do is have someone on a D.Va. You know, at this point, if Piercer is your Soldier, have Nabu go on D.Va. If he knows how to play it well, if he can put out, you know, some good defense matrices, because right now he's on Widowmaker and just not landing the shots, and that's a big issue for them. He's going to make the swap over to the Genji again, but he's behind in the ult charge, coming over to try to contest Gordon. Gordon might be taken down pretty low here, but he's going to be able to get a heal, and he has his blade, so huge advantage in favor of the team that's already sitting at 80%. Now, they are going to be able to make the flip.
Beautiful kill onto the Genji over there by Reyes. Reyes still low, unfortunately, hasn't got any heal yet. He could be taken down over if they don't heal him in time, but somehow he's able to stay up.
Oh, Barrage at the ready, looking for an opportunity, finds the opening kill, and that's going to be the Transcendence. Oh, a Reflect coming in, but Bubble Kitty spots it, and he turns just in time. Piercer finding that kill regardless, though, as he gets taken down by Gordon, and Duel now knocking Nabu off the side, it looks like a little bit. Nightmare, basically the lone defender at the moment, as they're trying to take down Archangel as well. They should find this kill, just a matter of time. That's going to be...
Tackles coming out from the Soldier on the side of Pengu Squad. Takes down Piercer immediately, completely shutting down any sort of potential it's kind of deal with that Pharah. But somehow Ascendancy is still able to hold after all this time, but it looks like Pengu Squad will be taking them this point back again.
Reyes taken down pretty low here, but luckily for him, had a little bit of help from Archangel. Doesn't have that Harmony Orb anymore, and should be eliminated late there. A lot of pressure coming out from Ziggy as well. A nice Helix Rocket coming out onto Piercer, as that is going to be Nabu coming around, and Piercer now trying to take out his Tac Visor, trying to find some kills. Finds both support kills, and Gordon along with it. They should get the flip right here. 47% for them. Again, they have 50% to go, so 50 seconds now that they have to hold out against the opposition. Again, the Pengu Squad right now certainly in a great spot to take this map, but finally, some pushback.
Oh, that was a complete waste of the Pulse Bomb, as he should have saved it for a better time. Gordon decimating Archangel, Dragon Blade coming out, looking to see a few picks. So Reyes is off the map as he gets booped by the Lucio.
Really great momentum shifter there from Sogeking. I mean, they already had some great kills, but that solidified that fight, and it's good that he used it, because now Bubble Kitty with the Barrage will be able to set himself up to get very aggressive here, put out some pressure, and make sure that nobody makes it over to the point. Finds 2 kills at the end, and that's going to be a 2-0 now for Pengu Squad, and they're potentially 1 map away here from setting themselves to be 2-0 in the set as well. And remember, it is a best of 5, so that will take us to the 3rd map, Gibraltar, where again, I really think that Pengu Squad has an advantage on that map as well. Bubble Kitty now switching over off of the Pharah, because again, this map doesn't necessarily favor it. This is a map though where we could see Reyes blowing out the Reaper, and it looks like they're going with that indeed.
A moment to enjoy some peace and quiet. Probably just a moment.
Probably assuming that they're still going to be sticking with the Farah, they go forth with the... Okay, never mind. Pierce onto the Reaper over there as they make the swap on Reyes, who's going to be playing Soldier now. This should be really interesting to watch because Pierce used to be a Reaper main initially when he started playing Overwatch, and he told me him personally that once this patch is out, he's going to be a Reaper main again. So I guess this is the place to start, I guess.
A little unfortunate for Reyes, who, you know, obviously has put a lot of time into it and likes to play it, obviously enjoys playing it as he's played almost nothing but it up until this matchup. But switching things back over, you know, to Piercer here, allowing Reyes to play the Soldier, I mean, certainly has worked for their first fight. I mean, Piercer hasn't put out as much damage here as Reyes, but it worked out the way that they performed in that fight. Now we'll have to see if things switch back over. Gordon going back in, classic dive startup here, where he's pressured pretty low, but they already found those opening kills.
Nice work.
Man, Ascendancy firing back. We'll have to see
Ziggy really being the problem as he's being uncontested rather every single time. Like he has all the space that he needs to push. I mean, Ascendancy has a Winston, they have a Diva, but they simply do not go for that Soldier, which is something they should really be doing because they once they take him out of the fight, it's going to be really easy to take down the others. Wouldn't you agree, Urix?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at this stage, with the fact that it's just back and forth, I really would like to see a regroup actually happening from Pengu, because Piercer is just lighting Gordon up right now because he's in there 1v6 while he's trying to pull out. So with the regroup, though, they are going to afford themselves the opportunity to, you know, get back together, get everything sorted. They want to get some ults charged up. Ziggy now is on the Diva. We'll be able to shut down some of that pressure coming from Piercer and Reyes. So that's a good... That's a good change there from them, I think. I mean, Soldier was doing a lot, but I think Diva will be able to do a lot more.
Really good use of the Thompson is there to completely block out all the damage coming in from the Dragon Blade, make Henry completely use his Tack Visor, but unfortunately Reyes will fall because of Winston. But Archangel doing super good work with his discards, probably doing good callouts over there, eliminating one target at a time. But I still feel they should focus some of the bigger targets more, like earlier with the Soldier, and now they're just leaving the Diva uncontested. That's one thing they're lacking, and if they, assuming that the Soldier or Diva, whatever they pick, is able to gain some ground and space, they're going to be able to push so easily. And that's one thing they're really not paying attention to, which they really should.
Oh man, someone needs to put pressure on Nightmare. This man is just eating these guys alive. Piercer now finding a kill on Duel, as well as that's pretty much his job. Just find the Winston and murder him, basically. Ziggy going to be taken down, overtime going to tick as well. And they're just trying to hold on to it, but that should be overtime ticking away. That will be 100-0 as Ascendancy find themselves on the scoreboard for the first time. And now,
really amazing play coming out from Ascendancy.
They have to pray.
Good decision on swapping out the Reaper. Yeah, they're gonna have to pull up a Hail Mary over here because they're gonna run a Far and Mercy again, 100% without a doubt over here, and they do.
Yeah, and they have to pray that Command Center comes back into the map pool because that's a strong map for them, and it's basically going to be based on fortune. I mean, they have to have incredibly good luck to be able to pull this off. I mean, incredibly good play, but incredibly good luck as well, because this map is not going to favor Piercer sitting over here on the Reaper, because you're not going to be able to contest Bubble Kitty. Gordon's going to be able to get very aggressive towards the rest of this squad, and really, as long as Duel plays defensively and stays away from Piercer as much as he possibly can, there's really not going to be too much of a threat from him. They're sliding around. I like the way that they're playing this, getting onto the point, taking it to close quarters, where Piercer's going to have a lot more ability to find these kills, but Bubble Kitty already with a kill onto Reyes, certainly giving them a little bit of an advantage.
But seems like Pengu Skuad just gonna slap them in the face with a no, this is not happening again.
Nabu going to be falling as well as he gets D-maxed, hit with the Helix Rocket, and then finished off there by Ziyu. Now it's going to be Pengu setting themselves back up to try to get that spawn hold. Piercer, though, still on that Reaper, not swapping off of it. Again, This is a map that they have to win, and then pray that Command Center comes up to have the best opportunity to hold on to this. But I just can't see it right now. They have to swap. I don't think that Piercer on this Reaper is
nice kill under the Mercy over there. Raze has to survive this if they even want to make a push, but unfortunately he does not. And despite having that major pick under the Mercy, they still see themselves lose this fight because of a soldier that completely goes uncontested there near the point.
And we will see the Lucio being dragged onto the point here. Nabu going to be taken out of his mech, and that is actually going to be the kill. But Reyes finding the kill on Bubble Kitty, that's going to give them opportunity to actually get in there once they get everybody sorted and back up and ready to go. But perhaps Bubble Kitty will be able to make it over there and make a play. Does have Barrage. Sogeking needs to stay safe here with 74% towards Resurrect, as Ziggy now holding on to that attack visor pretty shortly, as he's just getting that last little bit of damage that he needs, and does have it now.
Man, Mercy just doing a work to keep the Farah alive. Yeah. It's really unfortunate that they find small openings, but the Mercy and Farah combo just shuts it down completely. Like, even if they do pull off a double hit scan, I doubt it's gonna work.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be tough. I mean, I think at this stage you just put Piercer on, you know, the Diva, bring Nabu back over onto the Genji. I think that would probably be their best bet in order to try to figure this out.
Wow, shut down by Lucio with a punch on the soldier, and looks like they will most likely be taking this point. Unless they're able to pull off some kind of amazing play over here. That's a Winston Primal Rage on the point, the Genji, Mercy. What else do they got? Now Farah is back.
Well, Rhea is actually forced to take out the attack visor just to kind of keep this thing going.
And they take the point at 99. Now they're gonna have to be super defensive and try to keep them from coming out, which seems unlikely given the mobility that Farah and Mercy have, as well as the Genji. Well, and you actually see the pick of McCree being the only DPS to come out.
Look at the ult economy, though, because, I mean, if you think about it, Reyes just used his soldier ult, and granted, yeah, he wanted to go over to McCree, but really, they would have liked to have that ult in the next one, and he's going to get pressured. Doesn't have that self-heal that Soldier comes packed within his kit, so going to rely on those heals, and takes out Gordon, so they have an opportunity here. Overtime ticking down as they did steal the point away, so even though Ascendancy should win this fight and this point along with it, you know, they're not going to get any score. They're not going to be accruing points in the meantime, and that's going to be big for them. Great stuff from Reyes to close that fight out, but ultimately Ascendancy falling a little short by not having the point throughout that whole fight.
Yeah, they should have not lost it the way they did. They would have easily had a 50% almost on it, or nearly 50% on it if they kept the point. What happened over there? Because Mac Canberra wasn't actually planned on the fight at the time. Like, how did they get the point?
They just didn't, you know, play it off a little bit. They were playing off in the courtyard on the statues, trying to stay away a little bit, and, you know, we just saw them sneak on, basically. Classic missed awareness, you know?
Yeah. Wow, Piercer completely shutting down the Winston in his home shield of the barrier, taking down the Lucy over there.
The problem here is that to get onto this point, they really have to kind of play off of Duel, and with Duel jumping in, he's going into not only Nabu, you know, pushing in with the Diva, who is going to be able to do a lot of damage if he's able to find headshots onto Duel, but then you also have the Discords coming out with Piercer and Reyes. That's a lot of damage to try to deal with. At this stage, I would almost say that Duel would be better off going over to a Reinhardt with no charge than 80% on Winston, just to make sure that they get into the point, and they have a ground threat and some way to cover against that pressure. But nonetheless, that's going to be Gordon coming out. Death Blossom coming through. They already find 3 kills. Oh man, Pengu coming through. Ziggy saving the day. This man is an absolute clutch monster. That's what we've seen. I mean, he's been kind of silent throughout most of these matches, and then all of a sudden, right at the end of a match, Ziggy comes alive with like the nuttiest 3 or 4K of all time. And it's been every single match that we see this happen, and he saves the day, saves the map, and forces it through. Now it's going to be 2-0 for Pengu Skuad. Really, really solid performance there from Ziggy. It really did seem like right here at the end that it was definitely going to go in favor of Ascendancy, and they were going to be able to move on to that last map. And if they were lucky enough, you know, all hopes pointed directly at Command Center so that they would have the best opportunity. But that was going to be, I mean, that ended up being completely shut down there by Ziggy. Again, clutch monster.
Yeah, he really established himself as a good soldier. But then again, I would honestly blame Team Ascendancy for giving him the space to push, because, again, throughout the entire game, this guy was uncontested. The only point that they actually were able to kill the soldiers when the soldier was actually amidst the team during team fights. Otherwise, the soldier was completely out of bounds, nowhere to be seen or even bothered to be paid attention to by Team Ascendancy, which is why I feel they actually lost this match.
So moving on to Gibraltar, we've already seen Ascendancy kind of struggle to deal with Bubble Kitty on that Pharah Mercy. Nabu has been able to contest it probably more than anyone that we've seen so far, but still kind of coming up a little bit short. It just seems like Pengu Skuad has the best Pharah Mercy combo in this tournament at this point. You know, we've yet to see anybody really do too much about it at this stage, and certainly Ziggy has been fantastic on the Diva, and that's been a huge standout effort, I think, for sure. And then both teams, Nabu and Gordon, have been head-to-head really, really solid with the Genji play and making some flex efforts as well. I don't think Gordon has actually has he gotten off of Genji yet?
He did switch over to the soldier on King's Row. I think that was the only game in which he played a hero other than Genji, so yeah.
I mean, it's been insane how these teams haven't really been forced to make these big changes. But onto Gibraltar, things could kind of get a little different. I mean, more likely than not, we'll be seeing a Pharah Mercy. Likely, probably from Bubble Kitty, I would have to imagine, along with Sogi King on that Mercy.
That they're going to be running the Pharah again.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's going to be the case here. We're waiting to see if Ascendancy is going to want to attack or defend, and I'm really hoping they want to defend, because that way I don't have to change the overlay and everything, you know? Just being professional over here, you know? But,
yeah.
But ultimately, it's definitely whatever they want to decide. It's not hard to do that, but I'm really looking to see what Ascendancy wants to pull out here, because, again, you know, that Reaper is not really going to be an option as much for them in this map, especially for the first and third stage. Maybe you can bring it out in Hangar, but not really, because what you want there, especially against a team like Pengu Skuad, is something to contest the high ground, get up onto ship, and really kind of take them off of high ground and force it to a ground game where then maybe Reyes could be on a Reaper or something like that. But they have to have those other things. They have to have those other options to be able to create that opportunity for him, or for Piercer, who, you know, could potentially be on it as well. So I don't think we're going to be seeing much Reaper play here, and if we do, I think it's going to go quite poorly for Ascendancy if they wind up pulling it out. So Pengu Skuad, I think, with a huge advantage in this map. They're already up 2-0. This is a best-of-5 set, so I think Pengu Skuad close it out right here, 3-0.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree at all, because Pengu Skuad really looks like, I mean, they are definitely start-wise the strongest team in this tournament, and I don't see any reason why they would lose now, unless Ascendancy really tries to pull something unique out of the bag, rather different than what they have been running, because they've mostly just been playing around their Winston. But they do get the picks, you notice them, but it's just that their DPS goes uncontested. That's the only problem I feel that this team has, and if they're able to really focus those long-range targets who are not as close, like, focus on them entirely, they should be able to hold their ground, because it's something they're not able to do. Soldier from a distance is able to build up so much ultimate charge. He just comes in at the end like he did in the last round and just destroyed everyone single-handedly.
So we'll have to see how the defensive side of Ascendancy works here. I mean, a lot of teams like to have people up here back on this back corner, utilizing this little box here to try to, you know, give them a little bit of an advantage. They can crouch behind it, take away the threat that could potentially come from over here on your screen. And with this double hit scan, I think they're kind of just assuming that Bubble Kitty is going to be on that Pharah. And I think that's a good assumption to make. I mean, yeah, he might not be on it, and yeah, you might get kind of played into a little bit because of the fact that they're probably going to assume that you assume that. But that's just the case of mind games. I think they want to play it safe here. I think I would do the same thing. Try to do anything you can to try to eliminate the threat of that Pharah Mercy, whether it be with double hit scan, whether it be with a Zenyatta, or whether it be with a Diva, to try to mitigate some of that pressure or at least eliminate that threat outright.
What are you going to do when the fighting's over, John?
Looks like they're gonna be going forth with a very weird but surprisingly interesting comp over here, but I think they're probably gonna switch back to, you know, their regular picks. Since we see Sogeking going on to the Mercy over there, we could expect a Pharah pick, and it does come out over here. Zuzi onto the Lucia, Duel onto the Winston, and assuming they're gonna keep both their snipers, the Widowmaker and the Hanzo.
Alright, we'll have to see here. Gordon looking for some opening picks. Again, Pengu Skuad is already up 2-0, so if they do well here on the attacking side, then, you know, that can definitely set them up. A nice knockback from Bubble Kitty. They already found the kill onto Nabu. Again, momentum is everything on this first point, so you will see Ziggy going forward, trying to kind of press that threat. Piercer taken down pretty low, and it's going to be Bubble Kitty looking for that kill. They don't find it. Great move there from Archangel, actually, on the Winston, as they're kind of swapping roles around a little bit. Rhea's on the Ana. Oh no, he's taken down. Pengu Skuad with a lot of space to move here. Nabu in the backline trying to make something happen. Piercer taken down very low, has a heal for himself, and look at this positioning here. Bubble Kitty finding kill after kill. Up in the sky, nobody left to contest him, as Nabu did make a swap very low for himself as well, as finally getting some healing. Pressured into the corner. Bubble Kitty ready to go with the barrage. They're looking for an opportunity to break that out, but they don't even have to. First point, quick. 5:25 was the time.
Wow, the Widowmaker really working out for them, as a lot of damage that's coming out, and we just have Pharah's finishing them off, given the distance that she has, but she's really doing most of the work over here with the help of the Mercy. And Ascendancy aren't able to establish a, you know, very strong point of defense. They just find themselves staggered because as soon as one comes out, they die. So they need that time to regroup, but unfortunately, they are not able to every single time.
Well, Widow had a little bit less of an effect here in this fight because he was pressured back a little bit, had the tanks on him, and Nabu going forward finds that kill. I think Gordon swaps right here. I think that's the best call to make. Maybe over to a Genji or something like that. Have that vertical threat. He's already proven that he's incredibly strong at it, so he does make that swap indeed. King with that Resurrect ready to go, as Bubble Kitty does get pressured. Nightmare more than likely going to be taken out of mech, does indeed get taken down. And again, those support ults are ready, but Nabu already does take out that Mercy.
Again, the res would have been quite efficient, but probably prolonging the inevitable, I would call it, because I mean, seems like Pengu is gonna be taking this point back, regardless of the ultimates that were used or the Mercy being shut down, and they do has still with 5 minutes 20 seconds remaining, having a strong push going at this point, not even giving them any space to come out of their spawn, going all the way to that launch pad over there.
A really, really stellar attack so far. I mean, great press at the end, pushing into that last stage. Really, really good stuff. And now they still have that Resurrect. They still have it available. They have Barrage coming up quite soon. They're going to have to do it into, you know, Ryder's Sound Barrier, but if they can find a pick early here, they already found good damage, ready to go with the dive. But Bubble Kitty going to be taken down there by Piercer. This is an opportunity for them to finally mount a defense.
And they do, but Mercy's gonna res the very same that die. I have the self-destruct not doing anything, unfortunately, but keeping them at bay for the moment. Archangel being taken down, this could be a problem for Ascendancy, as they have a bit of space to push with that self-destruct, which will not get anyone.
Well, what it did do is isolate two guys here, Piercer as well as Ryder. Ryder gets away for a little bit, but finally does get taken out.
The fall, yeah, just takes the fall over there. Nightmare gets taken down again. Doesn't seem to be going well at all for Ascendancy, as all they have is a sound barrier and attack visor, but again, we have everyone just being eliminated before they can even pop any ults.
That's going to be the Winston taken down. Archangel falling short a little bit as space created by Duel. Nightmare with Oh, both blades coming out, and that's going to be supported. We have a bunch of ults being unleashed as Piercer trying to make something happen too, as Bubble Kitty comes through with the barrage of the century. 2 kills for this guy. And it's up to Archangel to try to hold on to this point now, it seems, as Yu actually does finally find the kill alongside Duel onto Nightmare with that D.Va taken out. And that's going to be 3:32, a fantastic time from Pengu Skuad.
This team completely showing that they are the top contenders in this tournament to win the eLympic monthly melee. Seems like it's going to be heading that way, but I mean, come on. Everyone has to have faith in every single team, regardless of how the situation might be. Hopefully Ascendancy does try and bring it back, but for the moment it doesn't seem like it's going to be that way.
I think we're going to be seeing a first or second point hold. I don't think we're going to be seeing it get out of the hangar phase. I mean, with what we've seen, with what we know Pengu Skuad is capable of, and what we know has been a detriment to the success of Ascendancy, it's just those 2 phases on the map just aren't, they just don't play into the hands of Ascendancy at all. I mean, we're seeing role swaps happen from Ascendancy because they don't have the ability to flex to the heroes and have the performance and the cohesion to be able to contend with Bubble Kitty and Gordon at the same time. Ziggy has also been a threat, being able to swap between either hit scan threat or being able to kind of be a very, very good support and backline threat on that D.Va. I mean, has that ability to transition, and that's been a huge issue for them to try to deal with. Sogeking hasn't really been contested as much as he really should have been, and the discords that are going to come out from the attacking side on the Zenyatta are going to be, I mean, insane to try to deal with. Nightmare's going to have a tremendous amount of pressure to deal with. That backline's going to get dove on time and time again, and Ziggy's going to have all the space in the world. I mean, really, nobody's going to be able to contest Ziggy, and if he's able to land his shots like he has been, then Clutch Master Supreme of the entire tournament is going to be able to just do it the whole round.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as if they don't keep contesting, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm surprised they still haven't realized that yet, despite having been shut down so many times and having rounds and rather games taken away from them just because of that one soldier who they did not focus the entire game. And Piercer with a wonderful pick onto the soldier to shut him down immediately. Looking to make a push away as able to get the payload underneath the bridge.
So we do see Bubble Kitty up top, trying to stay away, trying to stay out of the sightline. Everybody's trying to stay out of the sightline of Piercer, and you will more than likely see him go over to server room to try to get that nice sightline as he comes around, and he does indeed go over there. This is a good spot for him to play off of, but falling short a little bit. When you do lose momentum in this first fight, it's kind of rough to play that Widow, and it's almost worth it to swap at this stage. I mean, you need to be able to get control of server room, and you need to be able to find those kills early on to set yourself up and the rest of your team alongside. But he's going to stick to it, and if he can get himself back over to that server room, then maybe they will be able to do something with it. But it's going to be hard because they could easily deny that, and Gordon could get very much in his face and be a huge threat to the positioning that Piercer wants to take.
Oh, what a
headshot!
Beautiful headshot on the Gordon over there. Nice reflexes from Piercer over here. Hopefully they're able to improvise in that pick. Unfortunately, Archangel is out of his mech, so... And Nightmare being taken down shortly before Archangel gets taken down by the Mercy and Pharaoh combo that they got working over there. Piercer dangerously low as probably not calling out for heals over there. I mean, they had 3 seconds. He should have probably been healed up by that time.
I mean, good attacks have been deployed, but really, it's just the fact that that sightline that Widow needs to perform well has been denied time and time again. Piercer has been, you know, pretty solid on the Widowmaker, but just without that sightline, you're not going to be able to have those open shots that you really need to be able to take. And he's waiting for the rest of his team, and they have, you know, basically just 2 opportunities left. If it doesn't work here, he's going to have to swap. I mean, there's no doubt about it. No matter how well he does, he more than likely has to swap here because, again, that sightline is denied, and Gordon with the reflect! This time comes up all Gordon there, but we do see Dragon Blade at the ready for Nabu, and they need this to really, I mean, kind of set them on fire because really, they've just been completely cold this entire attack. They've been stopped dead in their tracks. And what I said about that first point hold is looking like it's going to be very, very true here unless something dramatically changes. Oh, and that could be it.
Oh,
that's an entry right there from Nabu. We will see Nabu coming through, trying to get a little bit more damage, but Gordon is turning things back around as Piercer gets eliminated. Nabu on the point still. It's going to be the sustained game here from Duel as he finally gets taken out. Gordon on the point getting a nice little bit of reflect. Bubble Kitty finally coming back in. Ziggy, Coachmaster coming back in with an opportunity. Gets shut down by Archangel. And with a nice self-destruct, takes out the Mercy along with it. Mercy, you know, at 73%, didn't have that res, but certainly would have had it pretty soon there. Bubble Kitty not going to be able to stay alive here. And they do move it through into that second phase of the map as Piercer did finally find himself in server room. Finally. And that's going to set up that first point. Now, it's going to be very tough because they don't really have the ability to get up there onto ship and out pressure them on top to force them down. I mean, they do have Nightmare, Nabu, and Archangel, but you know, at any point, Bubble Kitty could reestablish them up there on the Pharah and put out a ton of pressure into those windows as well, where Widow is not going to be able to have that, you know, really strong performance because the sightlines are going to be, again, denied. So it's kind of amazing to see that Piercer is just still playing this at this stage instead of something that could be a little bit stronger holistically.
And just being shut down immediately by the Genji as soon as he makes his way onto the second part of the map over here. Piercer making that switch onto the soldier. You have Nabu, this Dragon Blade coming up, but sadly no ultimates to follow through. Whereas on the side of Pengu Skuad, you have the Dragon Blade coming up as well as the Transcendence, which should be there shortly.
Alright, definitely looking for this Dragon Blade to have a huge impact. They are going to just jump onto that ship, but he's going to swap places with them, take out, alongside Bubble Kitty, Reyes, their main healer. That's both supports down, as we do see the attack visor coming out, but without the support, I mean, he's going to drop for sure. An easy fight here for Pengu Skuad. They pull out the Transcendence, which maybe wasn't totally necessary, as a regroup was going to be in order from Ascendancy either way, but they will find a very late kill onto Archangel, so that's definitely fortunate for them as they're going to be able to get a lot out of that. And a late kill again onto Ryder as well, so no Lucio here off of that respawn. And again, some denied ult charge as well. That's huge because, you know, they really want to play the game here to try to get ahead. Ziggy again with that self-destruct, but this isn't really like a great stage. Oh, we do need a pause. We haven't had a pause in a long time, actually. We haven't needed it. Uh-oh. Okay, you got it. Cool. So what do you think here? With 52 seconds left, TBM, they've got to, I mean, they've got to not only get through this stage of the map here on ship, arguably one of the harder stages of any map to push through for a lot of teams, unless you can get onto that high ground or push momentum from that first point. I mean, do you think that they're going to be able to push it through, or do you think that they're going to be denied by Pengu Skuad and then have Pengu Skuad take a clean 3-0 victory of the tournament in the finals?
Well, you said it yourself. I'm pretty sure they're going to be going in with the 3-0 because they have no ultimates that are going to be ready in the next few seconds except for the self-destruct, which probably won't be doing anything because these guys, they have a very good game sense, so they know where to be exactly when that kind of thing happens because self-destruct hasn't really worked on that team. So seems like these guys are going to be taking it back because Gordon just hammering the crap out of Ascendancy over here.
He should be denied finally here by Nightmare 2K, and Archangel gives them a little bit of space as well with a kill onto Duel. So, I mean, some really big threats taking away Duel and Gordon because both those guys have ultimates. But still, they should be able to regroup, get back onto the point. And if they win this next fight with Resurrect available on Sogeking and a kill already onto the Ana and onto Nabu, I mean, they've basically just secured it. But no Resurrect available anymore because he's dead.
Soldier being taken on Dragon Blade and Barrage being used at the same time, and looks like this is probably gonna be a victory for the side of Pengu Skuad that finally wins this tournament and will take home the first place prize. Congratulations to Pengu Skuad. What an anticlimactic final, don't you think, Urix?
Well, I mean, I definitely would have liked like to have seen a little bit more contestation. I'm just trying to appease Shifty in the crowd there. I'm just trying to appease him. I don't want to say contention or contestion. If contention isn't a word, contention is, but I feel like I use it too much. So I'm just trying to appease the boys in chat. He's been in here all night, hammering away in the chat, so I want to send him a little love. So good stuff from Nabu here. Gave them really kind of their only opportunity that we really saw them have on this map. With a nice little setup, huge amount of burst coming with that Nano Blade. Good communication to set that up as well. But otherwise, it was all Pengu Squad.